Welcome to Modern Motoring and welcome to the 2026 Honda Civic Hatchback. This will be a quick spin because there's nothing really new with it for 2026, but the last time it was on this channel was 2022, so after 4 years, it's time to put some new-ish content up there on the Honda Civic Hatch. So we have two powertrains here. It is either a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, all gasoline with 150 horsepower, 133 pound-feet of torque, and that's the base trim, or you go for the mid trim or the top trim, which are hybrid only. That also runs off a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, but you get 200 horsepower, 232 pound-feet of torque. The gas comes with a CVT, the hybrid comes with an eCVT, and all Civic hybrid, that's not true, all Civic hatchbacks are front-wheel drive the same way with the Civic sedans. On the fuel consumption side, all Civic hatchbacks run on a 46.9-liter fuel tank. The gasoline combined liters per 100 kilometers comes in at 7, meaning you can go around 670-ish kilometers per full tank. Now, the hybrid comes all the way down to 5 liters per 100 kilometers combined, meaning you can go a little over 900. And the final figure before we go into our perks, quirks, and irks is the cargo space, and we are sitting at 694 liters. Spoiler alert, it is best in class among the mainstream hatchbacks that are not performance-based. So, starting with the perk side, the Civic hatchback still drives extremely well. It's smooth, it's quiet, it's planted, it's very functional. Not exciting. I think you can maybe swing this around twists and turns with a little bit of fun, but it's certainly not an SI, for example. It's certainly not a Type R, but there's some oomph behind your right foot, and you can get this thing up to speed pretty quick and have a little bit of fun with it. Acceleration is fairly brisk, and we can thank the hybrid system for that, because anything with a battery will give you a little more power than just a traditional internal combustion engine. As I mentioned, it's fairly quiet, even when the gasoline engine kicks in. And I don't know how many people care about noise, vibration, and harshness when it comes to a compact hatchback or even the sedan world or this class of vehicle, but pretty impressive overall, and you get really good sight lines. There's a decent sized A-pillar, and you get your Bose speakers in the A-pillars only on the top trim Touring. I'm at a stoplight, and I'll give you a quick audio and visual sample of the acceleration. And that's 60. So brisk, not fast, but still enough power to get you out of a potential collision or any kind of evasive maneuver. So all that to say is that I would put the Civic Hatch as the second best driving experience in class, with the Mazda 3 reigning supreme by quite a long shot. But the Civic is a definite second, and the Kia K4 and the Toyota Corolla, you're not buying those for driving dynamics at all. The cabin is clean and uncluttered, and it's fairly minimalistic. You have all of your HVAC controls as physical buttons. You have a nice little screen above that. Now, the infotainment screen, it's high res, which is nice, and there's a few hard touch buttons on the left side, and it's fairly responsive, so I'm not going to knock Honda for that, but at the same time, the competition is, well, just a little more advanced, and I think Honda's due for a new Civic in the next 2 to 3 years, and there's going to be a new Corolla coming out allegedly for 2027, so this isn't bad by any means. I just think Honda needs to catch up pretty quick. Here's a fun perk. In 2025, the Civic was Canada's best-selling passenger car, and 26 out of the past 28 years, it has earned that title. Now, I'll dig into more of this on the pricing and competition side, because the Civic is significantly higher priced than the K4 Corolla and Mazda 3. Mazda 3 without the turbo engine, even with the turbo engine, but that is a definite perk here for those looking at the Civic. Again, more on that in the pricing and competition side, but still something absolutely worth celebrating and definitely worth noting. The two hybrid trims come with a standard regular size moonroof. Now, Honda calls it a moonroof, but You can slide it and tilt it, so I guess by definition it should be a sunroof. Small little bits and pieces for me just to wrap up the perks. Nice large gear selector, so for those who are on the traditional side, you will appreciate this. Your drive mode selector and your parking brake and your auto hold are all in that same column. Decent sized cup holders, and just everything seems to be nicely placed and well within reach, and you're not reaching and lunging and just kind of guessing as to where things are. The Civic cabin, both sedan and hatchback, very smartly laid out. On the Quirk side of things, first one is that it doesn't look like a hatchback. The K4 has a very distinctive long roof look. The Corolla hatch definitely has that small bubbly look. The Mazda 3 just has those smooth lines, but still very, very hatchback. And here with the Civic, it can be mistaken for the sedan version of it. And not a bad thing, not a good thing, just a thing, and I put it in the Quirk pile. And the other Quirk is the privacy cover, whereas others have it where it lifts up with the hatch. Here, Honda still has their very cool, very smart pull from right to left system. And I like the cleverness, the creativeness of it. You don't have to remove it if you're looking to get extra space in the trunk. I wish more manufacturers did that, because it just saves a few extra steps of unlatching it and putting it somewhere, maybe forgetting it in your garage. Here, it's just a simple slider to the left to open it up and pull it to the right to get that privacy in. So I like it a lot. And moving on to the Irks, I just have one real one. Again, considering this is a very quick review, and it's the low-res backup camera. And I know we shouldn't be depending on it. You should be using your mirrors, and your surroundings should always be glanced at, especially going out of a parking lot. But it's 2026, and everybody else has something higher res than we have here. Deal breaker? No, because you can still see things. You can change the angle a couple of ways as well, but I could see how some people may be a little irked by it. Let's get wrapped up with pricing and competition. So here are your Canadian MSRP figures for the three trims. $31,700 for the gasoline entry-level trim, $36,000 for the sport hybrid mid-trim, and $39,500 for the touring hybrid. And that's what this is, the top spec. And that is a lot of money. Now, I alluded to this in the perk side, but yes, the price is significantly higher, but it's Canada's best-selling passenger vehicle, so people still find value, and there's clearly a demand for the Civic, both sedan and hybrid. So, also known as sedan and hatch, just caught myself with that. Anyway, people still want the Civic, and they don't mind paying the extra money. Maybe they're doing leases, or short-term leases, or whatever it is. Maybe they're putting a bunch of money down, but the fact of it is that it's Canada's best-selling passenger vehicle for 2025, and again, 26 out of the past 28 years, and it's only been the last, I think, 3 or 4 years, that maybe 5, that Honda's pricing has been misaligned with the rest of the industry. Let's touch on competition, and I will include the cargo figures as well, and then we'll go back through the list, it's a short list, and touch on pricing. Kia K4, 628 liters of cargo space. Toyota Corolla, 660 liters of cargo space. Mazda 3, way at the bottom, 569 liters of cargo space. And again, what we have here with the Civic, 694. So definitely an advantage if you want that cargo space to be best in class. Going back through the list, let's touch on the entry-level pricing for the competitors. So the Kia K4 starts at $25,000, which is about $7,000 less than the gasoline Civic. Corolla also starts at $25,000, and the Mazda 3 starts at $26,000. So that's $5,000-ish less than the entry-level Civic. And yes, you can dress up the K4 with that turbo engine. I believe it's a GT line limited. Corolla, you can get a few different packages to really go up into the, I think, mid-30s with it. Mazda 3, you can go up as well, whether you want the regular engine with the 186 horsepower, 186 pound-feet of torque, or you can go to the turbo engine. And the good thing about Mazda is it comes with a geared transmission. Good thing about Mazda, again, it comes in a manual. So kind of take that. The Kia K4 is all new, so new design, new tech, very flashy, very modern. And the Corolla is kind of tried and true. It doesn't look bad. It's showing its age as well. But again, apparently in 2027, we're getting an all new Corolla. So we'll see what that looks like. That's a wrap for the 2026 Honda Civic Hatchback. Let me know what your questions are. I'll get you answers as soon as possible. Join me on the Modern Motoring social media platforms. And without you, there's no Modern Motoring. So I thank you, I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.